So sharks are a really fascinating species in a lot of ways. They've got a really long evolutionary history. A lot of them are top predators and play a really important role in ecosystem structure and function.
That's Megan Winton of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy discussing Cape Cod's mysterious sea neighbor. On May 23rd, the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy and the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries held its annual meeting to showcase an update on this season's plans for white shark research, as well as share last year's data and numbers.
White shark activity off the Cape last season was about on par with what we've seen in the previous couple of years. So they start showing up in the early spring. We had our first verified white shark sighting just yesterday. Then the number of sharks in the area increases into the summer and into the fall. And they're really kind of snowbirds. They're not here year round. So as the water temperatures start to cool off in the winter, they leave and they head south for the winter. But what we've seen last year is about on par with what we've seen in the previous couple of years. But peak white shark activity occurs off of Cape Cod in the late summer and into the fall.
While the shark numbers are steady, Winton explains why the public needs to be aware and informed about the shark's presence.
So we're learning a lot about sharks at the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, but a lot of our research is really all about people. Cape Cod is one of a handful of white shark hotspots around the globe, and sharks come here in the summer and fall to feed on seals, and they do that off of public beaches really close to shore. So we're studying their movements and behavior here so we can provide that information to the public, to the towns, to the people managing shark-related public safety information at the beaches, so they can use the results of the research to inform public safety practices related to the presence of these large predators right off of our beaches.
But before you cancel those beach plans, Winton explains why sharks are not the killer creatures some would like you to believe.
Sharks are not hunting for humans. People aren't on the menu. They are here to feed on their natural prey items, and they're very skilled, cautious predators. But anytime you enter the water off the beaches of Cape Cod in the summer and fall, you need to be aware of their presence and the fact that they're hunting for seals in shallow water close to shore. So there's a whole arm of the Conservancy that is dedicated to conducting outreach and education to get the results of the scientific studies we're conducting into the hands of the public.
Megan Winton does offer some advice for this year's beachgoers who might be hesitant to dip their toes in the water.
We don't want beachgoers to be scared, but we want beachgoers to be aware. So while white sharks aren't out there targeting people, and they're very cautious, selective predators that are really good at what they do, anytime you're going into a wild area where there are large predators, you need to be aware and take appropriate precautions. So we encourage folks to pay attention to the lifeguards when they're at the beach, practice shark smart behaviors, which they can learn more about on our website. There are very simple things you can do to change your behavior to reduce your risk of having a bad interaction with a white shark.